So your life kind of starts over for you.
Yeah.
Where'd you go from there, and how did you meet your wife?
So in the church that we were going to, she had worked with one of the girls that went to our church. And so it's a crazy story. So my wife is from Minnesota, right? Not anything like Hawaii. She ended up there kind of on a bucket list kind of thing. One of her friends one day said like, "Hey, I'm moving to Maui. Do you want to go?" And it's always been on one of her bucket list items was to live in a warm tropical place by the ocean. And she didn't really have anything going on. She had kind of just gotten over a kind of bad relationship. I think she was kind of trying to search for something. And so she ended up booking some crazy flight. I think her story is that she spent over 20 something hours on planes trying to get back to get over to Hawaii. So she ended up in Hawaii, ended up kind of getting herself established, got a job, found a place and all that kind of stuff. Crazy thing is though, is when I was living with my mom, we were living in kind of like a condo complex. And it just so happened that my wife, Deborah, was living in the same exact condo complex. Like we had no idea about each other. But again, like I said, as I was kind of going through my recovery with my legs, I started getting involved more with my faith again. So I would wake up every morning, I would read the Bible, and I would pray. And as I was doing that, I was like, my room was right on the parking lot side of the complex. And for a very long time, I had written off ever getting into a relationship ever again because I just didn't want to get hurt. Like I had never felt emotional pain like that, and I didn't want to go through it again. So as time went on, I started opening up to the idea of getting back into a relationship. So moving on past that, I kind of started praying like, God, if this is what you want for me, like I need you to make it like 100% clear that this is what you want. And like, I need you to show me who it's going to be. So in my times of prayer, there was one time where, I had a vision. Where we played our music for the church. We were kind of at the bottom. There was like some stairs and everybody, like it was like stadium seating, and we were at the bottom. And so in my vision, I had looked up, and at the top of the stairs, all I saw was a silhouette. I saw a silhouette of obviously a girl. And as soon as I saw that silhouette, I felt like God spoke to me and said like, that's going to be your wife. That's your wife right there. No idea who it was. Like there wasn't anybody that was on my radar. So Deborah had been invited to our church by her friend that attended the church as well. And so she went there for a couple of weeks, I want to say. And then she felt like she wanted to kind of get involved. And so she asked the pastor, like, how can I help? Or she asked the pastor's wife, I think it was, how can she help? And so the pastor's wife was like, okay, well, here's what you can do. You can hand out the bulletins, you know? And so she's standing at the top of the thing, and I completely forgot about the vision that I had. So I'm down at the bottom, kind of getting tuned up, kind of getting ready to kind of get into that mindset of like just kind of getting into worship. And I think at this point, I maybe had said one or two words to Deborah prior to that. Again, there was nobody on my radar, and I wasn't really pursuing anything. But as I was tuning up, I looked up, and that exact vision that I had saw in my prayer time, it happened right then. Like I looked up and I saw Deborah, and as soon as I saw that, like I was like, that's your wife. So like I knew from that moment that she was going to be my wife. And so I bring the story of me praying in the front window. As I'm praying for God to bring somebody for me, she used to run every morning right past my window. And I had no idea. Like, we didn't know that until after the fact that we had been dating for a while, that she was running by my window every morning as I was praying and kind of asking God for a wife. So yeah, that's kind of how we met. She ended up in Maui on a bucket list. I ended up in Maui because I had taken too many drugs and ended up in a mental hospital. My mom came and picked me up.